Welcome back, Brigade. Or if it's your first time here, I hope your day is going awesome. I'm Chef Jay, and I started this channel with the intent of helping cooks and chefs with soft skills. In case you don't know what hard skills and soft skills are, what you typically learn on the job, like cutting, making sauces, plating, that kind of stuff, those are hard skills. Soft skills are things like interpersonal communication, teamwork, leadership, etc. Don't be fooled by the terms though. Soft skills are what most cooks are lacking when it comes to moving into leadership positions. I recently had somebody ask me about how they know if they will be ready to take on a sous chef position. That's what I wanted to answer here today. How do you know when you're ready? I put together a list of signs that might indicate that you are set up for that sous chef position. So what we're going to do is explore them here today. First one is guidance. Do people look to you for guidance even when you are not in a technical leadership role? It's a significant indicator that your peers respect you and trust your judgment. Everybody has seen somebody in their kitchen, or it may have been them themselves, where they notice that front of house, or mostly back of house, sometimes front of house, will come up to them and ask them questions, and you kind of say to yourself in the back of your head, you're kind of like, well, why are they asking me about this? I'm just a cook. It's because they trust your judgment, and they're coming to you because you seem to have answers for things. The next one I'm going to call training. Are you the go-to person for training new team members? This responsibility shows that you are not only skilled, but also capable of sharing your knowledge effectively. This one's a pretty obvious one to know if you were being seen as the leader, because the exec will come up to you and be like, hey, I got a new guy starting. I'm going to start him on a short shift on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. Would you be comfortable training them? Like, you seem to have your stuff together, you know what you're doing, and I really want them to learn it the right way the first time. If they say something like that to you about like they depend on you to train them, and don't look at it as like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to train. Look at it as a sign of respect. They respect you enough to actually ask you to train somebody else for their restaurant. Definitely take that as a compliment. Definitely take that as a sign that you are getting closer to being able to get that sous chef position. Next one is knowledge of restaurant operations. Ask yourself if you know the restaurant and all of its positions inside and out. Understanding the entire operation is crucial for a sous chef, as you will need to oversee various aspects of the kitchen, and sometimes you'll have to get your hands dirty in maybe an area or department that you may not be as comfortable. Are you starting to kind of get a grasp on like how orders are done? Are you paying attention to like how people are doing things when it comes to some of the more financial aspects? On a slow night, on a slow to medium night, are you able to run the entire line by yourself? The fryer, the broiler, the salad station, saute, grill, flat top, whatever you have, can you do it all? Is basically what I'm asking. Not if you can be Superman and run it on a busy Friday night, but can you run every station successfully without making like crappy cold food and stuff like that? If you know all the stations and you start to have kind of a grasp on the financials, and you kind of understand why servers do the things they do, and have an understanding of how front of house management kind of interacts with them, and that comes important later on when you're inter-expo especially. But if you feel like you have a good grasp on that stuff, that could be a sign that you are ready for a sous chef position. Next one is accountability. Consider your own personal accountability. Are you someone who owns up to your actions, your mistakes, and learns from them? That is a vital trait for anyone looking to advance. If you cannot hold yourself as accountable as you would hold others, I don't think that you belong in a sous chef position just yet. An example is a burger comes back underdone that you made. We don't need to hear about how you got a different meat than you normally get, and so it seemed like it was done when it wasn't done. We don't need to hear about how the batteries in your thermometer are low, or how you got distracted talking to another cook, or how anything. No excuses. You f***ed up, and now you got to take responsibility for what you did and remake it. Thanks for bringing that back. I'm sorry. Won't happen again. Make it right. Send it out. Own it. Accountability is a really big deal for someone, especially in a sous chef position, because whether or not the cooks are successful, if the cooks are unsuccessful, you might be able to say something to the cooks about a problem that they have or something that they're messing up with, but ultimately their success or failure is your success or failure, and you need to be able to own those failures and those successes as they come, and also give credit where it's due, etc., etc. So the next one is leadership during service. So there's multiple aspects to this. One of them is being able to make sure things are going out. You should be able to run inner and outer expo as needed. You should know the timing on things, all of that kind of stuff. That's That is a big part of it. Another part of it is making sure morale stays high. Because if you end up in a situation where you have low morale on the line, y'all are getting your asses kicked, ticket times are starting to get upwards of 20, 30, 40 minutes, it's getting ridiculous, and you're really feeling that pressure, there is an important crossroads that you will come up against as a leader where you have to maintain a positive attitude, or as good of an attitude as you can. Like, we're all in this together, we'll get through it, the night will end. Just make sure to stay organized. We got this, If you can keep them focused on the goal and the kitchen doesn't go down in flames, that could be a sign that you're ready for some kind of leadership position. You're literally leading the kitchen at that point. The next point is problem solving. Are you a problem solver? Can you think on your feet and make quick decisions that are essential in a kitchen? Sometimes in a kitchen, believe it or not, things don't always go the way you want them to go. So sometimes you got to make like quick split-second decisions. Sometimes those decisions aren't like ideal. Like this is more like a triage kind of thing. Obviously, this isn't like a life or death scenario, but your decisions can impact how stressful the kitchen becomes later on. Maybe you're missing an extra 50 pounds of chicken and you're going to be screwed for service tonight. What are you going to do? Think about it. What would you do? Would you come up with something to take pressure off of the grill? Say they grill the chicken. Maybe come up with a different special. Prep more of something else. Reduce the price on it a little bit and run it out front. Make sure the servers are pushing it hard. Hey, we're low on chicken. Chicken's normally really popular. We're going to run this item instead. We're going to take like $5 off of it. Really push it hard. It's your favorite meal. It's the best thing you've ever had. Push it hard, please. Thank you. What kind of decisions are you going to make that are going to keep the restaurant from falling apart 4 hours from now? If you feel like you're a good problem solver, that could be a sign that you're ready. Now, this next one should go without saying, but it's reliability. Are you reliable? Are you at a point when you go into work that the sous chef and the executive chef and the people around you don't even have to question that things aren't going to get done or that you aren't going to show up for a shift? Like, it is a given that you're going to put out good food. You're going to be there. You are the dependable one. You are the reliable one. They're never in the office wondering if you're going to come in or not. Now, obviously, we all have problems in our lives. We all have things that we have to leave for. There's always reasons that we may have to leave. But generally speaking, that reliability is a big deal and can show your worth as a leader in the future. The next one is going above and beyond in your job, but there is a caveat to this. There's this thing called scope creep. And a scope creep is basically putting responsibilities on you for the next higher up position, but you aren't getting paid. In a way, they are stealing your work from you. Because if you are getting paid as a cook, but you find yourself doing schedules in order and stuff like that, but you're getting paid the same amount or maybe slightly, itty-bitty slightly more than another cook, that's that scope creep I'm talking about. So when people talk about quiet quitting, all they're referencing is doing what's listed in the job description, not the bare minimum. I actually did a whole video on quiet quitting, should be blooping up here any second now. That being said, when you are gaining these extra responsibilities, it is never a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you allow them to take advantage of it long term. Because the fact of the matter is that you are getting free knowledge that you can take to your next job, or showing them that you can handle these responsibilities and able to get a promotion. What you have to concern yourself with at this moment is if you are being paid as a cook but have the responsibilities of a sous chef, you got to ask yourself if you really think that you're genuinely going to get a sous chef position and get this promotion, get that pay increase, or if the managers / owners are thinking to themselves, well, why buy the cow when I can get the milk for free? See what I'm saying? So stick with that job with those extra responsibilities till you feel you have it down. You know it, and you know what you know, and you're confident in your ability. Push for that higher up position, that higher up responsibility and pay. If they will not give it to you, or if they drag their feet, or if they say something like, we're going to just hang on for another 3 or 4 months and, play it by ear and whatever. If they give you anything other than, yes, this is our plan for moving you up in the company. If they give you anything else, start looking for another job. Don't burn your bridges. Take that sous chef experience and get it on your resume. Learn the skills that you need to learn. Get really good at them. And then use those skills on your resume for your next sous chef position. But that's only if they're not going to offer you anything. And like I said, be really cautious about any foot dragging or any, like, we're going to give you a 50-cent raise now and then we're going to give you a bigger raise later, because they're just trying to hold on to you as long as they can. Don't buy it. Have some awesome self-respect and go somewhere that will give you what you're actually looking for. Cook jobs and sous chef positions, those are a dime a dozen. You can find them anywhere unless you start looking into like small towns and stuff. You can always find somewhere that is going to be looking for somebody. But again, the point of this is going above and beyond as an identifier of whether or not you're ready for a sous chef position. I would say this is one of the biggest indicators that you are ready, especially if you're already doing the job. You just need the title and the pay to go with it. The next one is eagerness to learn. You should always be willing to continue learning. The people that end up stuck, that they wake up one day and 10 years have gone by and they don't have any higher up position, they haven't learned anything else, and they stagnant, is because they're unwilling to continue to learn. There's always new techniques to learn. There's plenty of stuff, even as long as I've been in the industry, that I still don't know. I'm always learning every single day. Even as I've been making these videos over 2 years, there's times where I have to research for the videos and I learn new things as I'm researching for a topic that I want to cover. The best thing too is when I was younger, when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I didn't have access to the internet in the same way. Like, I could go to the college library and like get online and search stuff, but like search engines kind of sucked. I didn't have the world's information at my fingertips where if I wanted to learn something, I could just, shoot ChatGPT a quick message, or I could get on Google Scholar or Google whatever, and Google something and actually learn it. Get on YouTube and learn how to make some advanced technique that you would have to like find somebody that knew traditional French cuisine in order to. That's why the quality of food has gone up so much, because we're living in a current world where you're able to learn as much information as you want. Take advantage of that. Never stop learning, never stop growing. But if you do have that eagerness to learn, could be a sign you're ready to be a sous chef. The next one I want to talk about is consistency. Now, consistency in your soft skills and consistency in your hard skills, your plating, your cooking technique, your knife skills. If you are consistent, that is a really big sign that you are ready to be a sous chef. When the Michelin people come and they are deciding who to give Michelin stars to, consistency is one of the things they look at. They scrutinize. They look around everywhere. And they ask themselves not just, are you making good food for me because I'm with Michelin, or is this just what you produce every day? Is this your level of skill, your quality of service all the time? There's this thing that I used to say when important people would come in, they really wanted to make sure the food quality was good. My philosophy is every single plate of food should be good enough to serve to that person. That should be the goal. You shouldn't have to be half-assing food and screwing things up and sending out things that, the steak's a little more overcooked than you would like, so you just take that burnt side and you put it down, face down on the plate because they're not going to notice. The little crap that you do. You overcook the broccoli a little bit, the rice is a little sticky, sauce is a little broken, but yeah, it's okay. But for this dish, we really need to make sure that the quality is there. No. Every dish should be of the highest quality, the highest standard, and it should be a consistent standard. And consistency also means with rules, because when you're a sous chef later on, you need to be consistent in the rules. Otherwise, people will start walking all over them. They will accuse you of favoritism and a whole bunch of other stuff, which I'm going to put a video for bad managers in the little thing that run. When I snap my fingers and the thing happens and the things pop up.